We have a great session coming up today to cover the different degrees that we have in DCU if you are doing arts. There's lots of different subject combinations, and we have a selection of panelists here today who will be able to talk to you about these courses. You can see down the bottom of your screen, there is a chat function. So if you do want to ask any questions throughout the presentation or the webinar today, you're more than welcome. Please just pop them in the chat and we will try our very best to answer for you. If you're watching this back on record and you can't use the live chat function, please feel free to email us at studenthelp@dcu.ie and we would be very happy to help you out there. So without further ado, I'm going to bring our panelists onto the call. They're the best people that can talk to you about these courses, and we'll chat a little bit about Bachelor of Arts degrees, joint honours in DCU. So the first guest I will welcome today is Dr. Alicia Castillo Villanueva, who is actually one of the programme chairs of the arts degree in DCU. So Alicia, you're very welcome. I'll let you join in there. Then we have a student of arts, Emma Concher, who is studying media and English at the minute. So Emma, I will promote you to a panelist. Very welcome to the call. And finally, we have a good friend of mine, Thomas Dorian, who is a graduate of English and History in DCU. So I'm going to bring Thomas onto the call as well, and we'll be able to chat to all of our panelists separately about their involvement in the joint honours degree in DCU. So let's just make sure everyone is set up okay. Hi Alicia, how are you?
Hi Jeanette, I'm fine.
Good, thank you very much for your time. Thomas is there.
My pleasure. Hi Thomas, hi Emma.
Hi guys, and hi Emma, very nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Thank you very much. It's always a great day when everyone's video and audio work. So I feel accomplished in that much so far. Thank you so much for coming along. So what we'll start with maybe is to chat with Alicia. You are the programme chair. So you have, I suppose, a knowledge of the overall structure of the course, which is probably the biggest question we get when we talk about joint honours degrees is, what is it? What is an arts degree? So we might start there.
What is it, the art degree, the arts degree in DCU? It is a great degree because we have a series of combinations where students can take different subjects, up to 2, from social sciences and humanities. So this way, students pick 2 subjects and they study both at the same level. And this is wonderful because it opens more career path and also postgraduate options for them for the future. So our subjects are across all the schools in the Faculty of Humanities, Geography, History, Law, Politics. I will show you now in a few minutes the combinations, the possible combinations. And it is a 3-year degree if you don't take Intra or Erasmus, and a 4-year degree if you decide to do the work placement, which is called Intra, or the year abroad in a partner university in Europe, which is the Erasmus. So the degree, as I said, offers different career paths after the students complete their 3 or 4 years. For example, students can go to careers in advertising, languages, translation. They can work in the Parliament, in the European Union, in law, in politics, also in language services. What else? Diplomatic services, creative writing. In general, they can work in anywhere they want related to humanities, social sciences. Also, with this degree, they can continue if they want to become a teacher or work in education, further education, primary and post-primary after completing an MA, a master's in education. So that's the joint honors. Of course, is a degree that offers different students can have access to our MAs in the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences. And we have a lot of MAs, postgraduate level courses, like the MA in Law, Data Protection, Journalism, International Security and Conflict, Theology and World Religions, Literature, Children Literature, translation technology, many, many more. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna share my screen and show you. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, you should be able to do that now, Alicia. Thank you.
No problem. And I'm gonna show you the combination, the possible combinations for the degree. Okay, just bear with me. I need to put the full screen, but I cannot see the symbol.
On the top right there, Lisa, you see where it says slideshow? That should work, or maybe something in Zoom could be in the way. That happens sometimes. On the top right.
Top, oh yeah, it's covering with the screen.
Yeah, that always happens to me.
Apologies for that. So we have, as I was saying, the joint honors is divided in 5 sub-programs. I'm gonna call them like that, sub-programs. So students taking the DC009 joint honors program can pick up to 2 subjects from English and or Irish. They can pick both together, okay? And then they can pick also different subjects here on the right. For example, human development or philosophy, history or music, geography or world religions and theology. So you can pick any of these subjects, okay, for your BA Joint Honors degree in humanities. So if we go to the next BA Joint Honors Law, students can pick from, they can pick law and one of these subjects, history, French or German or Spanish, which are our international languages, or media studies. So you will study law with one of these subjects. Then we have another BA Joint Honors Media, in which students pick the subject of media and one of the following: English, international languages, French or German or Spanish, or politics. And our next one is the Bachelor of Arts Joint Honors, international languages, and students can pick one language, French or German or Spanish, and combined with Gaeilge, with Irish, or with politics. And that's the last one, the BA Joint Honors in politics, in which students pick politics and one of their subjects from this list, which is geography, history, law, or world religions and theology. So that's the joint honors, the possible combinations. As you can see, we have lots of them. And that offers a huge, huge range of combinations and a lot of things to think about.
Yeah.
How they want to pick their own degree.
Exactly. And thank you for that, the layout, Alicia, because I know a lot of students struggle initially with figuring out, wait, what subjects can I study? Can I pair this with that? So we might even circulate that slide deck as part of the thank you email afterwards, because I think it breaks it down really clearly. And very exciting that there's kind of no, say, set career that you have to go into after an arts degree. It's very broad and you can really decide, you know, do I want to pursue one of these subjects in more detail? Maybe I want to do it together. Will I do a master's? Might I look at teaching further down the line, which I know Thomas did after his course. So it's really exciting. There's lots of different options there.
Yeah, it is. And the good thing about the joint honors is that as the students pick 2 subjects, they have bigger career paths or even for postgraduate courses. And I think in the 21st century, employers want also the skills they have when they finish, communication skills, creative writing, and all those skills don't apply to a specific sector or company or even discipline. They apply to a very big range of career paths, companies, as I said, international bodies and organizations, So it is tricky to think what subject am I gonna study, but
Yeah.
it's also, I think they discover as they go what is best for them.
Exactly. I remember we had a brilliant student ambassador. I think last year I chatted with her about arts degrees, and she said it's really good for someone who's indecisive. She goes, because I really like languages and I really like this area, and I didn't want to pick between the two when I left school. So I was actually able to pursue both of them at university, which is good.
And to be honest, the languages is a good, not just because I am in the school of languages, applied languages and international and intercultural studies, but it's a good career now because of the situation Ireland has in the European Parliament, and also for students of Irish speakers. If you study English, Irish, and you have a third language, there are lots of opportunities for those who are more adventurous and want to work in Europe or in other international bodies.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa. So speaking of studying languages, Alan, it's good to have you on the webinar. I'm sorry I didn't introduce you earlier. Something happened and your name was coming up as my name on the screen, and I'm really confused as to how that happened. I thought I was on it twice somehow, but Alan, thank you for coming along. You're doing law and Spanish.
Yes.
How are you finding that?
Yes, I saw. Sorry, guys. Full disclosure, yeah, as Sinead said, I'm not Sinead. I'm in my final year of law and Spanish. I'm really loving it. I recently came back from my year abroad. As Alicia mentioned, in your third year, you can choose between the work placement, intra, or the year abroad, Erasmus. And I think Erasmus really helped me. I think also Erasmus buys you kind of another year, because I feel like 3 years is not long enough for a degree, and it gives you time to decide what you want to do with your life. And like Alicia said, the great thing about joint honors is it opens up kind of your options in terms of career paths. And like you can either, it's not as black and white, it's not just like law or Spanish, you can combine the two and kind of work in a career where you do both.
Yeah, that's great. How did you feel going abroad for the year? Did you feel ready? Were you really nervous after your 2 years of Spanish in DCU?
With the Spanish, I thought it would be interesting, because I think like college is great in the sense that the lecturers give you a lot of like oral kind of assignments, like a chance to prep your oral skills, but there's nothing like the real thing that really boosts your oral skills. And truth be told, after what we went through with the pandemic, I was ready to go. And I did not want to come back. I mean, it was such a wonderful experience. I really recommend any of you thinking about doing the joint honors degree to really give Erasmus a good look. I know it can be daunting, going to a whole new country on your own. In my case, like I knew no one coming with me to Valencia. So it was just like, I was completely on my own, but it was not as daunting as it sounds. Like you grow a lot, and you do build an entire new life while you're over there.
So exciting, so exciting. And Alan, this question comes up a lot, so I think I might as well ask you, because you know best. How does studying a language at university differ from studying it in secondary school?
Like I was saying before, definitely lots of more oral practice. Also, there's a lot of different opportunities like outside of your assignments to practice your language. Like one of my lecturers, she organized this virtual exchange program where it's kind of like a pen pal. Like we collab with the University of Salamanca, and you just talk to a student from University of Salamanca throughout the whole year. I'm still doing that now, and my lecturer set that up in second year, like that was 2 years ago. So like it gives you kind of a lot of opportunities outside your course to practice your Spanish. And then there's opportunities to also have like one-to-one sessions with your lecturer. I feel like in school, you wouldn't really go up to your teacher and say, hey, I don't know, I don't understand this piece of grammar. Can you explain that to me? Yeah. Whereas kind of on a university level, they foster that kind of environment where you can go to your lecturer and have like one-to-one tutorial sessions.
Yeah, that's great. So it sounds like even if you're someone who maybe is still trying to figure out if they like languages in secondary school, to do it at university, there's a whole lot of support there. And if you would like to do a year abroad, we'll make sure that you're ready for it. That's what I say to students. We wouldn't send you away if you couldn't do it, you know, if you couldn't survive. So they certainly get you to a level that's manageable abroad, which is great.
Jeanette, can I clarify, the year abroad is for all students, even if they don't study an international language? Because we have agreements with other universities, universities with programs that are through English.
Through English,
we have also a lot of students going to Europe, other universities, and all their programs are through English. So they will acquire a third language, but outside their studies. Just to clarify, because people sometimes think the year abroad is only for students of languages.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. And whether, as you said earlier, if you want to do the year abroad or you'd like to work, the option is there and you get to choose. Or if you don't want to do either, then that's also fine. So we might ask Emma now. Emma, how are you finding studying 2 different subjects? So media and English is your degree at the minute.
Yeah, no, I was quite indecisive, just as you were saying earlier. I wasn't exactly sure what career I wanted to go into. I knew that I always loved English. It was something I was always quite good at. So I just decided definitely just to do the English. And then when I came across the joint honours program, I thought media would be quite a good one. You know, especially at the moment, communication studies, you really can't go wrong with it. You can apply to any kind of career path. So I just thought those two would be quite good together. And so far, I'm absolutely loving the course, with no issues at all. So definitely recommend this one to everyone.
Yeah, that's exciting. Media is a subject that we get a lot of questions about. As you said, it's hugely popular in our day-to-day lives. There's lots of different jobs in it. What sort of things are you learning about in media?
It's very, very broad. Actually, this semester I have a law lecture, which is quite strange. You wouldn't think that with media. Surprisingly, it's actually my favourite class so far this semester. So we're doing media law at the moment, which is a very, very nice one to do. We've done the history of the media, media audiences, social classes in the media. It's very, very broad. Over the 3 years, you really do just study every single aspect of the media you could think about. So yeah, it really, really gives you a good scope of kind of every single aspect of it. It's very good.
That's great. And Emma, did you opt for a year abroad or an internship, or did you go straight through?
Yeah, so I actually ended up doing intro. I did the work placement. So I wasn't originally planning on doing it. And then the pandemic started and I kind of freaked out a little bit, thinking I was not ready to go into final year. So I ended up putting myself forward for the work placement and I got very, very lucky. So I was working with Allianz for the year. So again, with an English degree, you wouldn't think you would be in an insurance company. So I was working in underwriting, which is risk management. I was working in that department and I absolutely loved it. It was incredible. And I actually am still working with them. I was kept on part-time when I came back to college. So after my year, they decided to keep me on. So incredible opportunity, especially if you're not sure exactly what career you want to go into. It's really, really given me a good kind of understanding of the industry and an understanding of office life and kind of how to go about things once I'm finished. So incredible opportunity again. Yeah, absolutely loved it.
That's brilliant. That's so exciting. And the fact that you were able then to stay on part-time, I mean, you probably never thought, you'd think, oh, it's to 12 months and that's it. But actually it can extend and you never know, it could turn into a full-time offer again when you leave. Great. And as you mentioned, Kate, Allianz is one company. We've loads of different places you could go to for an internship, really depending on what your interest is, which is fantastic. Any ideas? And I love asking final years this because they hate it. Any ideas what you'd like to do next, Emma?
Interesting enough, I've started applying for master's programs now and also grad programs as well. So it just depends kind of which one comes back to me first. But because I was working in insurance, I was kind of working within finance and figures and all of that kind of thing. I'm more so thinking that area now. Again, communications, you wouldn't think you can end up in something like that, but it just shows kind of how versatile these degrees are. You know, you can start in one thing and end up in something completely different. So you're not stuck in what you're studying right now. You know, you can always kind of apply it to everything.
Yeah, it's that concept of transversal skills, isn't it? It's, you know, the skills that you use in university that you can apply to any job, because really there isn't a job for life anymore for many people. Not that they don't exist, but people like to move nowadays and try a bit of everything. So having a degree that's really broad can only be good for you in terms of jobs. Thomas Dorian, you are a graduate like myself from DCU and you're teaching right now.
Yeah, so I'm teaching at the moment. Will I do it forever? Probably not. Did I intend on doing it when I left DCU? Not at all. And I suppose like listening there to the other like students there, it was very much the same situation I was. I finished my degree during at the start of the pandemic. But before that, I had a really good job in a very famous nightclub in town. And I was their events host. So I was looking to go into career in event management. And like that, the whole country stood still, and I lost my job during that summertime. So I was given the opportunity to become a substitute teacher, and now I'm nearly finished my Masters of Education. But there is so many opportunities out there with this degree. I'm an English and history teacher, but when I first applied to DCU, I applied to do English and Irish. And after the first 2 or 3 weeks, I decided, you know what, maybe Irish isn't for me. And although I actually had never studied history for the junior or leaving cert, I went to start a history degree, and it was so good that it gave me all the knowledge that I needed to become a teacher. But like, as you yourself, Sinead, knows, like with the degree, you have a lot of flexible time, so you can really get involved in DCU life. And like myself and Sinead, we had like radio programs at DCU. We were involved in all the different clubs and societies, and that really gives you a lot of the transferable skills like your course does. And as Alicia said there, you don't have to do one that's it's law to be part of that program on Erasmus. People in my course went and studied English in Spain or English in France for the year to develop their language. And like sometimes when you sit down to think what the people who sat either side of me of in the lecture hall are doing now, it's crazy. Like one of the lads used to work in Leinster House, and now he's gone to Brussels because he did history and law. So even though there's slightly different courses, all the history students all do the exact same history modules together, and that's really nice. And you meet like so many amazing people. And even it gave me skills like that to sort of go in with English to do creative writing. We had fantastic lectures and that with Marina Carr. I've also started doing like media. So during the pandemic as well, I was doing marketing and media for some companies, and I'm still doing that. But again, that's just all the transferable skills I got from my degree and life in DCU.
Yeah, fantastic. It's great to hear that there are so many different careers. As you said, you didn't think going in you'd be doing a certain job. You didn't think when you were leaving you were doing a certain job. But I think that's the climate we're in. There's so much change, and you have to be almost willing to adapt to different jobs that come up and different areas of interest. If anyone has any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat just before we finish up at 50:30. But I might ask some of our students the highlight of your course so far. It could be your internship year abroad. It could be something random you learned about in class. Anything spring to mind, Emma or Alan or Thomas?
I think I might speak on behalf of me and Alan here, but it was visiting friends in Erasmus. Me and Alan, we ended up meeting up with a group of our friends in Alicante while Alan was in Valencia, and it was incredible just getting to spend time with your friends in a different environment with other students from other countries. It really was incredible. It was amazing.
That's brilliant. You'd agree, Alan?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, definitely.
That's great. What about Thomas? Can you think of a highlight, whether it's your course or clubs and societies?
Oh God, like there's far too many. I suppose just like overall, like the community at DCU was my highlight for me. Like when you walked through, like past the Helix to the U building, it used to take me 20 minutes to walk the 100 meters because you'd meet so many people you knew and it's just such a lovely community and family to be part of.
Yeah, I think a lot of our students and alumni would say that. I'm sure lecturers as well. It's a lovely environment to be in, and no matter what campus you're based on, you'll always bump into someone you know who's up for a chat, which is really nice. Thank you so much, each and every one of you, for your time. These webinars are so important to paint the full picture. And as you can see, we don't have a representative today from every single subject, but you can already see the different paths that people are going down and the different interests. And that's just a selection of 4 people involved in the joint honours program. So thank you so much. For anyone again who's watching back on record, if you do want to send in any questions, just email us at studenthelp@dcu.ie or the email that you got the newsletter from. Any way you get in touch, we'll be able to get an answer to you. So thanks again to Alicia, Emma, Alan, or Sinead, as it says on my screen, and Thomas. Really great to have you guys, and we'll chat soon.
Thank you, Sinead.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Sinead.
Have a good evening, guys. Bye.
Hey guys,
Bye-bye.
take care.
Bye-bye.